My child, I was trying to connect with you since this morning, but you failed to pay attention to my words. My child, there is an urgent message I want to convey to you, for you are doing wrong. Child, I see, whenever there comes a problem in your life, you always run to people for help, without remembering me. Child, if you will tell me about your problems, although I already know them, it allows me to send you help immediately, for I see that you look forward towards me as your ultimate helper. Child, you have forgotten that I am the one who formed you, the one who holds the breath in your lungs, the one who opens the doors that no man can close. You rely too much on the fragile promises of men, and not enough on the eternal covenant I have with you. Do you not know that every heart you turn to is under my control? When you seek others before me, you limit what I can do for you, for I do not share my glory with another. I long for you to come to me first, to whisper to me in faith before you speak to the world. When you bring your burdens to me, I do not only provide solutions, I transform your heart so that you can carry peace even in the midst of the storm. My child, I have seen your tears. Each one has been collected, not one of them wasted. But when you cry in silence, thinking no one hears you, remember that I have been sitting beside you, waiting for you to speak to me. Many times you speak to yourself in worry, saying, "What shall I do? Who will help me?" Yet you forget that I am the answer to every question that troubles your soul. I am not far away. I am closer to you than your very breath. You often think that I am silent, but my silence is not absence. My silence is the space where faith grows. I wait for you to trust me not because I delight in your waiting, but because waiting teaches your heart to align with my will. Child, you say that you believe in me, yet when trouble comes, your faith trembles. You believe with your lips, but not with your rest. True faith rests in me even when there are no signs, even when the night is long and the road uncertain. I have not abandoned you in your trials. I have been walking beside you, holding your hand even when you could not feel it. There are times when I must allow storms to rise, not to destroy you, but to teach you that I am greater than the wind and the waves. When the sea of your life roars, look not at the storm, but at me. For as long as your eyes are fixed on me, you shall not sink. Child, you have often asked me, why do I suffer when I try to do good? And I tell you now, suffering is not always punishment. It is often preparation. You see pain as an enemy, but I use pain as a sculptor uses his tools, to shape you into my image. The fire you fear is the same fire that purifies gold. Every tear, every disappointment, every unanswered prayer has purpose in my plan. There are things I must remove from your path that you would never let go of willingly, so I must allow what feels like loss to bring you to a place of gain. Trust me, child. I do not make mistakes. The steps I order for you may seem difficult, but they lead to life. You keep asking me for blessings, but you forget that true blessing comes when you allow me to be your everything. I do not delight in giving you only things. I delight in giving you myself. When you have me, you have all that you will ever need. Many seek my hand, but few seek my heart. You come to me asking for what I can do, but I long for you to come to me for who I am. I am not a distant king waiting for your worship out of duty. I am your father who desires your love out of intimacy. My love for you is not dependent on your performance. Even when you fail, I do not turn away. I discipline not to harm but to restore. I correct not to shame but to heal. I am patient with you, more than you can imagine. Child, when you wake each morning, I am there waiting to speak to you. But you often rush into your day, chasing after the noise of the world. You open your heart to many voices, but not to mine. If you would pause in the stillness and call upon my name, you would sense the peace that only I can give. You think peace will come when your circumstances change, but true peace begins when your heart surrenders. You have tried to fix things your own way and found only frustration, because you were never meant to carry burdens alone. Cast them upon me, for I care for you. Lay down your fears, your anxieties, your secret battles. You cannot hide your pain from me, for I see through every mask you wear. Even the things you are ashamed to admit, I already know them, and yet I love you still. There are paths you have walked that were not meant for you, and you wonder why doors have closed. I closed them not to deny you, but to protect you. You call some of your disappointments failures, but I call them redirections. The places you thought you lost were the very traps I rescued you from. There are people you wanted to keep who could not stay because their presence would have hindered your growth. Do not mourn every goodbye, child, for I remove only what cannot go with you to the next chapter I have prepared. Stop clinging to what I have already released, for holding on to the past blinds you to the beauty of what lies ahead. I am doing a new thing, even now, though you cannot yet perceive it. You have often prayed for strength, and I have allowed battles to come your way, not because I wanted you to suffer, but because strength is born through resistance. You cannot grow in stillness what must be proven in struggle. Each test you face is an opportunity to discover how deeply I dwell within you. When you feel weak, it is not a sign that you have failed. It is an invitation to lean more fully on me. My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in your weakness. The world teaches you to be independent, but I call you to be dependent. Dependent not on man, but on me. In your surrender you find freedom. In your humility you find victory. Child, you worry too much about what others think of you. You let their opinions shape your worth, but your worth has never come from their approval. Before the world ever saw you, I declared you precious. I created you in my image, not to blend with the world, but to reflect my light in it. Stop comparing yourself to others. You are not a copy. I made you unique. The gifts I placed within you are not small. You have simply not yet seen their fullness. Do not despise your beginnings, for even the mightiest trees begin as small seeds. You think you are behind, but I tell you, you are right where you need to be for what I am preparing. I have heard your cries for direction. You ask, Lord, what is your will for me? My will is that you walk with me daily. You seek great revelations, but I reveal my will step by step so you may learn to trust me for each moment. Do not run ahead of me. The plans I have for you are good, but you must allow them to unfold in my timing. Impatience will only cause you pain. Rest, child, in the pace I set for you. I am not late. I am never late. When you think time is running out, remember I am the maker of time. I can do in one moment what human effort cannot accomplish in years. Your delay is not denial, it is preparation. When the time is right, I will open the door, and it will be clear that it was me. I want you to learn to listen, my child. Not every voice that sounds good speaks truth. The enemy disguises himself as light, whispering lies that feed your fear and pride. Test every spirit against my word. Stay close to me, and I will teach you to discern. When confusion rises, do not panic, be still, and I will show you the way. My voice brings peace, not chaos, conviction, not condemnation. You will know it is me when your heart feels the pull toward truth, humility, and love. I will never lead you to hurt another or to stray from righteousness. My child, you often pray for miracles, but the greatest miracle I can perform is the transformation of your heart. I could change your circumstances in an instant, but if your heart remains the same, the blessing would not endure. So I work within you, gently reshaping the way you think, love, and forgive. Forgiveness, my child, is something you must learn deeply. You hold grudges and wonder why your heart feels heavy. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because it frees you. When you release others from blame, you open yourself to receive my mercy fully. You cannot hold on to bitterness and my blessing at the same time. Let go, and you will find peace. I am calling you to love more deeply. Not the shallow love that gives only when convenient, but the love that mirrors mine, sacrificial, patient, and unconditional. Love those who misunderstand you. Pray for those who wrong you. Speak blessings where others speak curses. In doing so, you show that you are truly mine. The world does not need more judgment. It needs my light shining through you. Let your life become a living message of hope. When others see you, let them sense me. You have been afraid of the future, but I hold your future in my hands. The days ahead may look uncertain, but they are not unknown to me. I have already walked through them. You are safe in my plan. Do not let fear rule your choices. Fear robs you of the joy I intend for you. Whenever fear whispers that you cannot make it, answer it with faith that I am with you. My presence is the shield that no darkness can penetrate. You do not need to see the whole path. You only need to trust the one who guides you. Child, you think sometimes that your prayers are too small, too unworthy of my attention. But I tell you, I delight in every word that comes from your heart. Even the quiet sighs, even the unspoken tears. I understand them all. There is nothing too small for me because I care for you completely. Bring everything to me, the joys, the pains, the dreams, the fears. I will take them all and weave them into a masterpiece. You cannot yet see the pattern, but one day you will look back and realize that every thread had purpose. I am not finished with you. What you call the end is often my beginning. You have fallen, yes, but you will rise. You have doubted, but you will believe again. You have wandered, but I am leading you home. My mercy covers your past, my strength carries your present, and my promise secures your future. Do not be afraid to begin again. I specialize in new beginnings. No sin is too deep, no failure too great for my grace to redeem. Come back to me with all your heart, and I will restore what you thought was lost. My child, you have heard my words, and now I will open your understanding with the stories of those who walked before you. For nothing under the heavens is new. What you experience today, my chosen ones of old have also faced. The struggles of the heart, the pull of fear, the temptation to trust man more than me, all these have been seen since the beginning. I will show you how even the greatest among my servants once forgot to look to me first, and how, in mercy, I taught them again to lean upon me alone. Listen carefully, child, for their stories are a mirror for your soul, that you may learn and not fall as they did. There was a man after my own heart, named David. I anointed him when he was young, when he had nothing but a shepherd's staff in his hand and a song of praise upon his lips. He trusted me when lions came for the flock, when bears rose from the shadows, when a giant stood before him armed with a spear. In those days he looked to me, not to the sword, and I made his small stone strike down the proud. But as the years passed, and his victories multiplied, David forgot, for a moment, where his strength came from. He began to count what was in his hand instead of trusting what was in my plan. He ordered a census, numbering the people, seeking to measure his might instead of resting in my power. Child, he did not do this out of open rebellion, but out of a hidden fear. The same fear that sometimes visits your heart, the fear of losing control, the fear of being without defense, the fear that whispers, "What if God does not come through this time?" And I, seeing his heart, allowed him to see the weight of that choice. The numbers he counted could not save him from the pestilence that swept the land. But when David fell before me, crying, "I have sinned greatly in what I have done, but let me fall into the hands of the Lord, for his mercy is very great," I heard him. I stopped the angel at the threshing floor, and from that place of repentance, I built something eternal. Do you see, child, when David trusted in human strength, loss came. But when he turned his eyes again to me, I brought redemption from ruin. I took the place of his repentance and made it the foundation for my temple, a place where generations would come to seek my presence. From his mistake I birthed my dwelling place, and from your mistakes too I can bring forth beauty if you return to me. No wrong is too deep that my mercy cannot transform it. I do not waste the tears of the repentant. Child, hear the second story. There was another servant of mine, beloved and chosen, my prophet Elijah. I filled him with power. Through him I showed my people that I alone am God. On Mount Carmel, before the eyes of many, he called down fire from heaven, and I answered. The hearts of Israel turned for a moment, and my glory was seen. But soon after, when Jezebel threatened his life, Elijah forgot the same truth that had just sustained him. Fear entered, and he fled into the wilderness. He sat beneath a juniper tree and prayed that he might die, saying, It is enough. Take my life, Lord, for I am no better than my father's. Do you see, child, how even the strong can faint? How even those who have seen my power can forget it when fear speaks louder than faith? Elijah ran not because I had abandoned him, but because he lost sight of my nearness. Yet I did not rebuke him harshly. I came gently. I fed him bread baked on coals, gave him water to drink, and let him rest. I did not send lightning or thunder, though he was a prophet used to such displays. When I spoke to him, I did not come in the wind or earthquake or fire, but in a still small voice, the same voice that now speaks to you. I reminded him that I was still God, still present, still guiding, even when his eyes saw nothing but despair. Child, when you run from your fears, I follow you with compassion. I do not abandon you when you are weary. I sustain you. I do not demand your strength when you have none. I give you mine. Elijah thought his mission had ended, but I had yet another journey for him. I led him to anoint kings and a successor, Elisha, that my work would continue. I took his despair and turned it into new purpose. I will do the same for you. What you think is your ending is often my beginning. From David I teach you humility, that pride in one's own power leads to pain, but repentance brings restoration. From Elijah I teach you tenderness, that even in your lowest moments, when you hide in fear or doubt, I will meet you there, not in wrath, but in whisper. Both of them forgot me for a moment, yet both of them found me again. I did not cast them away, for I am a God who remembers mercy. Child, the stories of old are not written merely to be read. They are alive, breathing my truth into your heart even now. For I am the same God who walked with them, and I walk with you. You are no less loved than David, no less chosen than Elijah. The same patience I showed them, I extend to you. You too have turned to others when you should have turned to me, but still I call you by name. You too have feared when you should have trusted, but still I have covered you with my hand. You have cried out in confusion, Lord, why is this happening? And I have answered you not with thunder, but with gentle reminders in your spirit, in whispers of peace. My child, do not be ashamed of your weakness. The heroes of faith were men and women like you, with doubts, flaws, and fears. But they learned to look to me again and again. When Abraham lied out of fear, I still fulfilled my promise. When Moses struck the rock in frustration, I still brought water for my people. When Peter denied my son in terror, I still restored him and made him a cornerstone of my church. My plan is not fragile. It cannot be destroyed by human failure. It bends around your mistakes and turns them into testimonies. Understand this, child. I do not require perfection. I desire trust. I am not searching for the flawless. I am calling for the faithful. When David's heart returned to me, I called him a man after my own heart. When Elijah rose again from his despair, I carried him to heaven in a whirlwind of glory. When you turn your heart back to me, I will raise you up in ways beyond your understanding. Remember the lesson, child. When you depend on people more than on me, you limit what I can do. David's numbers could not protect him. Elijah's hiding could not preserve him. But when they returned to me, I restored both their lives and their purpose. I am your refuge, your fortress, your helper. When you place your trust in me alone, you stand upon a foundation that cannot be shaken. Many of my children in this generation repeat the same mistake. They look to men with titles and influence, to systems, to wealth, to intellect. They consult every voice except mine. They fill their days with noise and their hearts with opinions, and then they wonder why peace eludes them. But peace is not found in abundance of counsel or strength of resources. It is found in the quiet confidence that I am enough. When David sang, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," he declared a truth greater than any possession. When Elijah stood again at my command, he found strength that no rest or food alone could give. Child, I am calling you back to that place, the place where you trust me without calculation, where you believe me without condition. The faith that moves mountains is not loud. It is steady. It is the faith that says, Even if the fig tree does not blossom, I will still rejoice in my God. It is the faith that waits in the dark because it knows the dawn is certain. You must learn to wait, not in anxiety, but in expectancy. When I seem silent, it is because I am working beyond your sight. The seed buried in the ground cannot yet see the sunlight, but in its hiddenness, it is growing strong roots. So it is with you.